Hadith number 11. الحديث الحادي عشر. حديث الحادي عشر. عن أبي محمد الحسن بن علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه سبط رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وريحانته رضي الله عنهما قال: حفظت من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. رواه الترمذي والنسائي وقال الترمذي حديث حسن صحيح. طيب, hadith number 11 was narrated by Al-Hasan ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib رضي الله تعالى عنه, who was the grandson of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. His kunya was Abu Muhammad. Okay, Imam An-Nawawi said here, Sibti Rasulillah, the grandson of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. طيب, Sibt, the word Sibt here is normally used for the grandson of your daughter. Yani, my daughter's child. Okay, because Al-Hasan is the child of Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. طيب, what is grandson from, or the grandchild from your son's child called? Anybody know? Huh? Aywa, Hafada, Hafid. Right? Hafid is your grandchild from your son's son. Okay? But for the daughter, it's normally referred to as Sibt. Okay? Sibt Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa rayhanatihi. Here, rayhana, I believe, was translated as the one who was much loved to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rayhana is actually a type of flower that smells really, really nice. And some of the scholars mentioned that the reason why it was mentioned as rayhana was because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam not only loved his children, but especially when they were younger, he used to carry them and smell them, alayhi salatu wasalam, Al-Hasan and Hussein, when they were very younger. And it's quite natural, of course, for those of you who are parents, especially when the child is really young, to hold them close and to smell them. Of course, you're not going to smell your kid when they're 9, 10, 11 years old, but I'm talking about when they're young, correct? When they're still a child, then that's quite natural. طيب. وَرَيْحَانَتِهِ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. So this is Al-Hasan ibn Ali. He is the one who the Prophet ﷺ said about him, إِنَّ ابْنِ هَذَا سَيِّد. He said, this son of mine, he is one who is a sayyid. He's a master or a leader, right? وَلَعَلَّ اللَّهَ. He said, it might be so that it will be by the permission of Allah through Al-Hasan ibn Ali that two great groups from the Muslims that are fighting each other will come together and will unite because of him, right? And that is true because after Ali ibn Abi Talib, during the time of Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, there was a dispute between the companions at that time radiallahu anhum, between Ali ibn Abi Talib and Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan radiallahu anhum ajma'in, right? And there was some discord between them over the issue of the Khilafah. In any case, that fighting stopped for a bit because of the issue of the Khawarij and Ali ibn Abi Talib fighting the Khawarij, which eventually led to Ali ibn Abi Talib being assassinated. He was killed, radiallahu anhu. Muawiyah was also, there was an attempt on his life, but the person, pretty much, it's a long story, but pretty much 3 people after the battle of the Khawarij and the Khawarij were decimated, some of the survivors came together and decided, we're going to assassinate Ali ibn Abi Talib and Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan and Amr ibn As. Okay? So Ali ibn Abi Talib, they were successful and they killed him, radiallahu anhu. As for Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, he was injured, but he did not die, he survived. And Amr ibn As, the person mistaken him for somebody else and killed somebody else. He came in Salatul Fajr, and Amr ibn As was not leading the Salah, he was in the first row, and the person thought Amr was the one leading, and he killed the person who was leading the Salah. Right? That's why they say, Arada Amran wa arada Allahu Kharija. The person who was killed, his name was Kharija. In any case, the point I'm mentioning this is, after that incident happened, all the Muslims came together under the rulership of Al-Hasan ibn Ali. And that year when all the Muslims came together and they united under Hasan ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib, that year was called Amul Jama'ah. It was the 40th year of the Hijrah. This was the prediction of the Prophet ﷺ, where he said, while he was still a young boy, إِنَّ ابْنِ هَذَا سَيِّدٌ وَسَيُصْلِحُ اللَّهُ بِهِ بَيْنَ فِئَتَيْنِ عَظِيمَتَيْنِ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. That he will be a cause for 2 great groups from amongst the Muslims to come together. رضي الله تعالى عنه. He said that he memorized, meaning he was still a young boy, he memorized from the Messenger of Allah ﷺ this statement. What is the statement? دَعْ مَا يَرِيبُكَ إِلَى مَا لَا يَرِيبُكَ. Leave off those things that are doubtful for those things that are clear and have no doubt. This here is from the very important qawa'id in the Sharia. Leaving off those matters that are doubtful and sticking to those things that have no doubt. Right? So, whenever there's something that there's yaqeen, that yaqeen and that which is certain is not ever going to be removed by any type of doubt. Al-yaqeenu la yazulu bi-shak. That's a qa'idah in the Sharia, right? If you're certain about something and you're doubtful about something else, and the certainty is clearly there and the doubt is minimum, you're not going to go for the doubt and leave that which is certain. Right? And this applies to a lot of things in general, but the principle in this hadith is the concept of al-wara'. And the meaning of al-wara' is to leave off those things that will not be of benefit to you in the akhirah. Right? Meaning to focus on those things that will be of benefit to you. There are certain things that you know for sure this will be of benefit to you, utilize that and benefit from that. As for those things that might not be of any benefit to you in the afterlife, the better thing to do is to stay away from them. Right? So this hadith right here is a very important principle with regards to leaving off matters that are doubtful. Right? And we mentioned in another hadith in last week's class about similarly about this issue of staying away from those things that are doubtful. And if you dabble with the doubtful things, it's going to lead you to those things that are haram. Right? We mentioned that last week. وَمَنْ وَقَعَ فِي الشُّبُهَاتِ وَقَعَ فِي الْحَرَامِ. Right? So this is a very, very important qa'idah with regards to sticking to those things that are clear and have no doubt. The narration in At-Tirmidhi, the same hadith, it actually continues. It does not mention it here in the Arba'in, but Imam At-Tirmidhi brings the full narration where he says that as-sidq, truthfulness is what's it called? Is clear. There's no doubt about truth. As for kadhib and lying is always it leads to doubt. Right? The Prophet says specifically, فَإِنَّ الصِّدْقَ طُمَأْنِينَةٌ وَالْكَذِبَ رِيبَةٌ. That indeed speaking the truth is tranquility, while lies and kadhib is always going to lead a person to doubt. And that's true. Because if a person speaks the truth or sticks out with his truthful, they are never worried. They're always at peace. They're always okay because they know they're stuck with the truth. But when somebody speaks lies and they speak, they make up stories and they speak tales, the person's always going to be worried. Okay, they want to make sure that they're not going to be contradictory to what they're saying. Today they'll say this, tomorrow they'll say something else, another lie, and then the lies build up, and the next thing you know, you see the lies contradicting another lie, and the person is always in shak and in doubt. Right? So that's what the Prophet mentioned, because speaking the truth is always going to bring you tranquility and tuma'nina, and kadhib will always bring riba and doubt. Ala kulli hal, the hadith here mentions, leave off that which is doubtful, and for those things that have no doubt in it. طيب. Inshallah.